So Spud, you had some questions. I mean, you coming at Lamont kind of sideways.
No, I'm not coming on the sideways. So this is
Okay.
just a little outtake, right?
Okay.
Little bonus of, you know what I'm
Bonus.
saying, 3 black guys with the mic. So I have to ask, so let me just start with Lamont, and maybe you can answer this question as well. So how do you feel, Lamont, about President Obama following Sarah J on Instagram?
Okay, you got to get me up to speed. I'm not in the loop. Following who?
Sarah J.
Who's Sarah J?
Oh my gosh, Lamont.
Who is Sarah J?
Lamont, you ain't the only one. I don't know who Sarah J is.
Oh my gosh. You didn't see
Sarah...
also on the Root. So the Root.com, basically, right? What happened to the what happened to the boy at the Root, man, on MSNBC? What's his name? Johnson?
Joshua
dude with the glasses, right?
Josh Johnson?
Yeah. Because he's out at the Root too, right?
I think so, but go ahead, man. I think so though.
I know he's out at MSNBC, and I think he's out at the Root as well.
He was just on MSNBC the other night. Josh, you talking about Joshua Johnson?
Think so.
No, Jason Johnson.
Jason
Johnson.
Jason.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the same person?
No. Jason Johnson is a different dude. He got.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's do with the glasses. The black dude with the glasses.
Right.
You know, it's not
right.
that. It's not many black dudes on MSNBC. Let's keep it a buck.
Right. So
we
okay.
Now, so we can really cuss and say shit and all that. Okay, go ahead.
He said shit on the other side, but okay. Oh yeah, he got ousted for criticizing black females, supporters of Bernie. So he came at them sideways, and they were like, "Yo, you got to go, my dude."
Got it. Okay. So according to the Root.com,
hold
right?
on. Let me just say this: he called black female supporters inhabitants of an island of misfit black girls. That was the quote. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So according to the Root.com, there's an article that basically says, to some, he may be the next best thing since sliced bread, but he's still very much a real human being. And apparently, like many, he enjoys porn. Forever, President Barack Hussein Obama may not be as buttoned up as much as we thought. And that's fine. Overnight, an award-winning adult entertainment star going by the name of Sarah J., which I'm sure is in Lamont's history, was trending on social media. Why? You wondering? All of her 1.1 million Twitter followers, the history-making hooligan is among them. I don't know what that means. According to Page 6, social media exploded early Saturday morning over the fact that the former leader of the free world officially verified Twitter account was following the star of films such as Dirty Wives Club, Move Your Booty for Me. Oh my God. And so forth and so on. So anyways,
did you say that Sausage J was an award-winning performer?
Sarah J.
Sarah J.
Did you call her Sausage J?
My bad.
He said,
my bad.
Wait.
But she's award-winning, right?
That's what it says. It says award-winning.
So he's at least following award. I mean, it ain't like he's just out here looking at,
I mean, he got a production company now. So he might be
green lights.
He might be wanting to make, making some moves.
I ain't mad.
Anyways, I just wanted to know, how you guys felt about, y'all's president, the leader of the free world, the first black president, following Sarah J., who is a white porn star, by the way. I just wanted to know how you guys felt about it.
So maybe you want to take a stab at it, or you want me to go first?
I'm just gonna say straight out, I'm good with it. He's all right by me with it. I mean,
is this on Twitter or is this on Instagram?
I think it's on Twitter.
He follows her Twitter. I mean, I'm cool with it.
It says Twitter. It doesn't say anything about Instagram.
Okay, so how many Twitter followers does Mr. Barack Hussein Obama have?
Okay, hold on, because it says with the 113 million followers.
Right. So here's my thing, and let's keep it a buck.
And he follows 608,000 people. Yeah, why does he follow that many people?
Exactly. So here's my thing. So if you're going to sit here and tell me that Barack Hussein Obama has the time to sit around and play on Twitter, and he doesn't have a staff or a social media manager or several social media managers, then I'm like, I don't know if I'm believing that. It's only 24 hours in the day. We all know how Michelle is. This man got 2 babies, and he out here trying to get this cheese up. We talked about it on the podcast before. My man is in a financial deficit in terms of former presidency. He's trying to get to a certain number, and he's nowhere near that. So he out here hustling, just like all 3 of us are. So I'm not willing to, like, okay, one of the young little interns trying to be funny.
Huh?
No.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. If you're an intern working for Barack Obama, if you're a full-time employee if you are Sasha or Malia and you happen to be managing Barack Obama's Twitter and trying to be funny, you decide to follow Sarah J., you are fired. You are also disowned from the family and not welcome to the barbecue. Sasha, Malia, keep very careful.
Why? Wait. Why?
Because if it was a joke, that's not funny.
Right, but I know something like Barack Obama.
So the president of the world cannot be
he can do that.
The activity of Sarah J.
He can do that. I'm fine with that. I'm saying if somebody thought this was a cute joke that they would do, and they ran that without him being, a part of this joke.
Right.
Then you fired. You, Sasha, Malia, y'all might mess around, and he might mess around, turn over some tapes on y'all, and be like, Trump's, my daughter's out here stealing money. Go ahead and put them in prison. You don't play with that. But I don't.
Okay, but how he wasn't walking through the, walking through the White House lawn? I mean, not walking on the White House lawn one day and was like, man, that's Sarah J. is off the chain. And then the intern was like, oh, he likes Sarah J. Let me go and follow her on Twitter.
Nah.
So Spud, that's almost like he's saying that Barack Hussein Obama heard the mixtape of DJ Chris from the North Carolina show of WQFS. You ever heard of DJ Chris?
No.
Exactly. And I promise Barack hasn't either, but he's following him.
That's not the same. That's not the same. That's not the same.
If you look this
girl got 2.6 million followers. That's different. That would be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? You got to put it on the same level as DJ Clue at least, or Envy at least. You can't put it on DJ Chris in North Carolina.
I'm just telling you, I'm looking into his following as we speak. It's a bunch of, as Maynard would say, nothing burgers on his following. People that he's following. Yeah.
All I'm saying is this. I don't have a problem. If he follows Sarah J., who's a 42-year-old veteran porn star who's probably...
You looked her up?
Yeah. Who probably...
Who is Sarah J? It's like
I didn't know who she was. I thought he was... For a second, I thought you were talking about Sarah Palin, because I thought her middle name was J. So I was like, well, maybe he should be following Sarah Palin. I mean, she's a politician, but Sarah J., porn star, 42, veteran of the game, probably was, she came through probably the whole herpes epidemic, 20-some years ago.
No, dog. Barack is following. He's following Jesus and Marrow.
What's wrong with that? That's a totally different story.
Not at all. He's following Larry Daniels. So what I'm saying is that I'm just not knowing. Matter of fact, he's following this girl I know in Miami that's a stripper.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere.
Now we finding out. He's following a stripper. And you said she's a friend of yours, Lamont?
Yes, because I know her mama. Matter of fact.
Was her mama a stripper?
Women Spud, you know the girl's mama. And we'll talk about that. Yeah.
Well,
my wife listens to this podcast. Hold up now.
But you out here saying I got side pieces and girlfriends and all kinds of foolishness. So, I mean, saying touche.
I'm with you. I got 3 girlfriends. Let's keep it a buck.
Oh.
My wife knows.
Oh. I hope that you dumped one of them. One of them needs to be dumped.
Who, Lisa Ray?
No. First of all, Lisa Ray's not hot.
No,
That's
she's
personal.
not
Come
hot.
on, that's
She's
not
hot.
Candy. That's what was her name? Delicious. What was it? Not Delicious. What was her name?
Oh, wow!
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Whoa!
Jesus.
Whoa, son!
Oh, Jesus.
Candy, wasn't it? I think it was Candy, wasn't it?
It was Candy, yes. Yeah, she's from the Players Club, bro. Come on, man. Every 50-year-old.
That Gail King got to be a rap.
Gail King.
Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say because that's what I'm protesting you on.
Oh, you know what? Okay, no, I take that. No, I take that L. Yeah, Gail's a rap. She's done.
I was never on the Gale train. Let me say, I was one of the first to say, Lamont, what the hell are you doing?
Because I like old women. Come on, bro. That's what I do.
Well, since you've gotten rid of Gail King, sir, there's a slightly more mature cougar out there who's white and blonde and in the porn industry. Her name is Sarah J. I'm hoping that at this point you've decided to replace Gail with
I'm
Sarah.
just gonna bump up Boris's wife, Nicole Harry Parker. I always like her.
Not hot neither.
Not hot.
Stop it.
No, she's not hot.
Oh, not only not hot, she's annoying as an actress.
Yeah, she's
Stop
not.
it.
She's annoying. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, not hot. All right, I just wanted to ask that question. I'm very, very sad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to take advantage, but can we just dive into the Andrew Gilliam thing real quick right now by the energy? I can't wait.
First of all,
I can't wait for another week. I just can't. Well, I just can't wait because I know we said we were going to talk about it in another episode, but we got to get into Andrew Gilliam. Come on, son. What happened?
So who was Andrew Gilliam? Who was that? Maynard, because you said, and I'm gonna say this before I give you the ball back. If the blue team does not get this W in November, after the virus, after all of the foolishness that he got going on, and you got Andrew Gilliam out here with a male prostitute.
Okay.
With meth.
Yeah.
Meth.
So let me ask this.
He's on
Hold on.
mint.com, bro.
So Andrew Gillum, he was mayor of Jacksonville, Florida, right, Lamont?
Yes, and he was
it was Tallahassee, Florida.
Tallahassee.
So what I'm saying is you weren't checking for Andrew Gillum 3 years ago, and you weren't checking for him 3 days ago until he got caught with this.
Parading the blue team, parading him around on Bill Maher. He's on
so he like to get
CNBC.
down with men. That's his thing. He been on the DL. That's his thing.
He has a wife. He has a
That
wife.
man got a wife and kids at the crib, dog.
He's doing this on the side, and that's what he's doing. So that's a personal issue between he and his wife. All I'm saying is this:
No,
man. He's not a Democratic leader. When's the last time he spoke at the Democratic?
Not a Democratic leader.
He's not even.
What are you kidding me?
He's not even an elected official
Did you not
today.
want to see him? Because I can go back and check the tapes on.
I did want to see him. I wanted to see him win, but he lost, and once he lost, he pretty much been kind of.
Oh man, this is how black people do. Oh, you lost, Negro. We don't care nothing about you no more.
Right.
Let me
He's
ask
not
you
a
this.
Democratic leader.
He
was on every Sunday when anything it was anti Donald J. My man was right there.
You know what office he holds today?
What about who held? There are a lot of people who don't hold.
He sits
office.
next to Jennifer Granholm on the CNN panel. He probably won't even do that anymore.
Do you know which elected office he holds today? None.
But that's not the point.
Okay, hold on. Listen, just think about it. If it took you that long, he's a guy who popped up and he became super popular because he almost won in Florida. He's a good-looking black guy. He does his thing. He has his family. He has all the trappings of what it looks like to be success. He's a mayor of, at the time, Tallahassee. He loses. The day after he lost, nobody said, "Oh man, Andrew Gillum, I'm going to send him a check." Oh, Andrew Gillum, I hope he runs for something else. Andrew Gillum this. There are tons of other people that the Democrats can run. He's not that important. And if by us making it important, then we're holding him to a new standard that, like, why? That man.
So can I ask you a question, Maynard? So let's take Donna Brazile, right? Donna doesn't hold an elected office, right?
No.
Isn't Donna also been paraded around? What's the other guy? Dude from New Orleans, white guy, bald-headed. He doesn't hold an office.
Right, but they both of, first of all, let's say this. James Carville and Donna Brazile, in fact, were key in getting Bill Clinton in office twice. James Carville was the campaign manager. Donna Brazile later went on to be the head of the DNC during the Hillary Clinton thing after Debbie Wasserman Schultz got ushered out the door. Donna Brazile she's been on the main stage in Democratic politics since 1988, 1990. We're talking about.
Are you saying that if Donna Brazile was in a hotel room with a bunch of other female prostitutes,
we already know that Donna. First of all, we know that Donna Brazile's gay.
I would want to see that.
We already know Donna Brazile. Donna Brazile is a lesbian. That's already known information. And we still accept
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
So then that means that y'all not checking. She's been out.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So let's say she's married to a woman, but she's still in a room with a bunch of female prostitutes, and one of them is getting ready to overdose on meth, and Donna's so drunk, she's bending over the toilet, right, throwing up, and the police is like, oh my God, this guy is so drunk that he technically could be, public drunkenness, and we can charge him for that. Would that matter then? Would it be a nothing burger then?
Public drunkenness? What is that? What is that?
I'm just talking about
$250 ticket.
Drugs. Huh?
What is public drunkenness? A $250 ticket?
Let's make it $500 to do that.
$500.
But you also got the illegal drugs in the room.
Okay.
Does that matter?
No, it doesn't. Let me tell you why. We didn't have a problem with. Let's just back up and say, every football player in the NFL that's ever been accused of being.
You're talking about political leaders. Why are you going to football players?
Then let's talk about political leaders. For, a low-level drug possession is a slap on the wrist. Okay, fine. We also talking about the idea that Donald Trump is talking about literally raping women, grabbing them by the pussy. You mean to tell me crystal meth and grabbing a woman by the pussy is the same thing?
Right. Every time I start talking about boxing, somebody got to bring up Donald Trump grabbing pussy. That ain't got nothing to do with the fact that this man, that we all held to a very high standard.
No, we didn't.
And I would say,
we didn't hold him to a high
disagree.
standard.
I think that, okay, let's not even say we held him to a high standard. Somebody that we all admired or hoped that would actually continue to aspire in the political process. Mm-hmm. I think that when Andrew Gillum, and his energy, for running for senator he had high hopes. I think if he would have won, he would even had even more hopes.
Sure.
I think he was great. So I don't want to downplay the guy and make it seem like, oh yeah, now that he's not a senator or he didn't win, that, that we didn't all think that, he could get back in a race or he can actually, do something in the future. It's the same thing like, the rumor now is that they want for Joe Biden to actually put Stacey Abrams on the ticket. Well, she lost. I mean, so
if this happened, who do you think?
But if this happened, I'm sorry, what?
Who did you think was more high profile, him or Stacey Abrams?
I think that they were equivalent. No. I didn't look at them as different. I looked at them, they were two aspiring African-American politicians that were going to do good for American politics. So I didn't look at Stacey Abrams and was like, oh yeah, she's more, for blacks or, she's going to be, has a better future than Andrew Gillum was. I just thought that they were both great. But now it's like, dang, my man, like you out here forget the gay part of it, right? I mean, forget the male prostitute part of it. You out here on the meth, dude? You out here on the meth.
Hold on.
That's different.
Is he on the meth or was the dude that he was
okay,
in the
that's
room
fine.
on the meth?
You got meth in the room. All right?
Let me ask y'all this.
You got meth in the room.
Let me ask y'all this. We know of a man that smoked crack in a hotel room, got caught on tape, went to with a prostitute, went to prison, came out, and got reelected mayor of Washington, D.C. as Marion Barry. Died a hero in Washington. he continued to have issues with drugs and alcohol, and he continued to get reelected. And if you go to D.C. right now and mention Marion Barry to a black person, they'd talk about him like he's their father. He's the greatest man ever.
But what's the difference between what you're saying about Marion Barry and about Andrew Gillum? Like you're making Andrew Gillum seem like, oh, now that he's not a mayor anymore, that or he's not in politics anymore, that he couldn't have had that same run as Marion Barry.
No, what I'm saying is this: Marion Barry was kind of a legend in D.C. He was kind of a legend on the East Coast. Like everybody kind of knew who Marion Barry was for years. Not one election cycle. Andrew Gillum popped up this one election cycle on the national platform. On a national platform, we heard about him one election cycle. Y'all act like this is a dude that we've been following for the past 15, 20 years. You didn't know.
Can I ask you a question? And Spuds too. And let's take let's take homie out of it. Let's take X, Y, and Z. Let's just say we were all in Vegas. We talked about going to the NAB, right? So we're all late night, everybody drinking scotch, and I'm drinking vodka. Then all of a sudden, I pull out a crack pipe. And I put a crack rock in the crack pipe, and I start smoking it. Be very honest. What would you do, Maynard?
I'd get up and leave.
Spud, what would you do?
I would probably be like, yo, what the are you doing? And then I would probably get up and leave.
My point exactly. So for my man, for you, and I don't give a fuck how drunk you are. For there's a certain level of judgment, whether he was X, Y, or Z, to being in a room with, and y'all can take it away, but I'm going to bring it back, with the man who sells his body on the internet in a hotel room where there's crystal meth in the room, and you got a wife and a kid at home, kids at home.
Right.
Yo, dog,
here's the difference, though, Lamont, because your example doesn't match. You said the three of us we in Vegas together, whether we're at the bar in the suite or whatever.
No, because they were trying to say, they was homies and they was all just hanging out.
No. Here's the difference. I think I know you, and if all of a sudden you started smoking crack, I'd be like, whoa, I have to really reevaluate our friendship and how close I let you. There's levels of friends, right? Some friends can have your phone number. Some friends can have your address. Some friends can stop by unannounced. Some friends can come in the house. Right now, I'm like, yo, Lamont, if he was in VA and he was like, y'all need a place to stay, like, yo, Lamont, I got a bedroom. You can crash with me. It's all good. But if you started smoking crack, I'd be like, wait a minute. Maybe I need to reevaluate what level of friend you at. Because you smoke crack, I can't have you in my space. That's one. But this man went and found a prostitute. Let's just say, the idea that he had drugs, all bets are off now. He found a prostitute. So this is not surprising. This is not surprising.
This is not surprising?
No, what I'm saying is when the man went into the room with another man who was a prostitute, the idea that he pulled out drugs, that we already are dealing in that space. If you go into a room with a prostitute and the prostitute is like, yo, first of all, why am I sleeping around for money? So I could probably support my drug habit. Okay, and you find out they got drugs on them. Okay, that's who we're dealing with. You're a prostitute. It is what it is. I mean, it's not like he went into the room with another lawmaker and he pulled out a crack pipe or a meth pipe. He went into a room with a prostitute. We're already talking about questionable judgment. But all I'm trying to say is Andrew Gillum the person that, like, before this happened, is he the dude that you were like, you know what, I can't wait to get me some more FaceTime of Andrew Gillum? No, we didn't know who Andrew Gillum was.
Can we replace the FaceTime word with something different?
Is Andrew Gillum the dude that you couldn't wait to get more out of, as far as his
balls?
I don't know what to say. I just don't think that Andrew Gillum is.
Let it go. Forget about it. We get it.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yo, oh, man.
All right. No, I mean, I don't know, man. If it was Jay-Z and we were all sitting there,
If it was Jay, it'd be a whole different conversation.
I don't understand why it's the difference between Jay and Andrew Gillum.
What do you mean it'd be different? I'm leaving like on the buck. If I saw Jay-Z,
if me, you, Maynard, and Hov was sitting at the table at the Four Seasons, and Jay, you know what I'm saying, pulls out a bump, I'm like, dang.
Right. Of the number of mayors, governors, senators, presidents, among the greatest of them all, where does Andrew Gillum rank? Is he in that list? No, he's not. But when we talk about rappers, we got to say Jay's name very well. I have Jay in my top 5. If Jay pulled out a bump of cocaine, I'd be like very disappointed, to the point where I'd be like, yo, you know what? Nah, I'm off. I'm off. If Jay was caught in a room with a male prostitute and meth, it would be a huge deal. That would be why? Well, let's start with, what's he got? 12 albums that I got 12 of them. He's got a bunch of other recordings with other people. I got the Jay Electronica thing, and that might as well be a Jay-Z album. He's on every song except for one or two. So yeah, it would be a big deal if it was Jay-Z. He's one of the greatest rappers of all time.
Let's go apples to apples. If it was Kwame, right?
Kwame Kilpatrick
it was Kwame Kilpatrick.
Oh, okay.
It's the same.
No, it's
we
not.
all looked at Kwame as if he was a rising star in American politics.
Kwame was a rising star in American politics.
So was Andrew Gillum.
He was a rising star.
If he would have won Florida, no question about it, he would be on the path to probably being one of the biggest faces in American politics. I was going to say presidential, but that was a little too far.
If he had won that, he would have been on that path. But he didn't win that.
So let's just say in the next Senate cycle, he did the Bernie Sanders and he went back at it. You don't think that he would have had a chance?
Sure. But I'm saying today that this thing has happened, are you saying that, what I don't want, listen, it's very unfortunate. At the same time, I think it is a personal issue between he and his wife and his family. He may have to pay some kind of legal fees or whatever, and I hope that man gets the help he needs to, decide that he wants to be straight or not involved with drugs, or he wants to be gay and let his wife go on and do her life, or whatever it is. That's his business. But this is not a smite on the Democratic Party, and that we need to be saying to ourselves, oh my goodness, if Donald Trump wins, this is what Lamont just said, if Donald Trump wins, we're going to tie this back to Andrew Gillum. This has nothing. Andrew Gillum is
no.
Donald Trump's winning because the Democratic Party is just not buttoned up.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's one of the pieces of not buttoned up.
Andrew Gillum's not. He's not in this election cycle. Andrew Gillum is who's Andrew Gillum supporting? What presidential candidate of the two Democrats is he supporting? Is he a Joe person or a Bernie person?
I'm totally. I'm honestly, I'm not that dialed in.
If you're not that dialed in, then it's not that important. You can't tell me that
it is that important.
It is not.
I understand your point. It isn't that important to the point to where the Democratic Party is going to lose the election to Donald Trump. I agree with that, but I do think this is another slap in. This is another. What's the word? It's another hit because it's only another weapon that Donald Trump can use against Democrats, if he to be able to say, oh, well, shoot, you got Democrats over here doing this. You got, doing that, blah, blah, blah. He already has his words against the Democratic Party to make us, make Democrats look like, oh, they're not nothing anyway. This is just only another feather in his cap. But I don't think that, him winning this election cycle is going to be put on that. Andrew Gillum is that ain't gonna. That's very, very minor.
Then let's get if Donald Trump has his spin machine working, let's get ours working. One of the
we don't have a spin machine. That's the problem.
Sure we do. It's called MSNBC, but it's also called Three Black Guys with a Mic. If we chose to do that, conspiracy theorist Alex Jones.
Right. You can get us Joe Biden, can't you?
Conspiracy theorist Alex Jones of InfoWars, who was one of Donald Trump's most favorite homies, was arrested the other day for drunken driving. And, we should just
hit him with it, Lamont. Tell him the white man's ice is colder.
I mean, one day he'll figure that out. Maybe when he hits 70, but you can't. That's not how you. It's not how you. It's like you got to box like Floyd Mayweather, like bro. Like you can't just go toe to toe with somebody, man. You got to finesse somebody. You gotta play your game because you ain't gonna never win their game. You're not.
Okay.
Period. You're not. And that's what a blue team is. What a blue team is.
I'll tell you this.
I guess to the point. You're talking about Alex Jones, which is Donald Trump's homie. There's nobody that is even bold enough to say anything about Alex Jones, right? You're not going to have Joe Biden out there, using the same unnecessary tactics as Donald Trump will. Donald Trump, he ain't got no problem with saying anything about Andrew Gillum or Hillary Clinton or the Obamas or whoever. You're not going to have Joe Biden do that. And you're not going to see. So anything that happens on the Donald Trump side, whether it be Rudy Giuliani or Rush Limbaugh or Alex Jones or whatever, ain't nobody gonna say nothing bad about those people. They're not gonna discredit them at all. Unfortunately, that's gonna be irrelevant.
Last time
Donald Trump is gonna say, I ain't gonna say he is, but he'll say, oh, and you got look at my African American over there.
The last time Donald Trump mentioned Andrew Gillum?
Probably never.
March 2019.
Okay.
All
right. Well, it's not irrelevant.
So would you not say that the state of Florida is relevant?
Sure.
In the game?
And yeah, sure.
Okay, so if it gets nasty in Florida, he can be used as a weapon against the blue team in the state of Florida.
Yeah, because he's elected to what again?
Is that about the election? He does hold some weight in Florida, bro.
Lots of Charlie Crist holds some weight in Florida. He's gay as well, and he's hiding it. But there are tons of people who have weight in Florida. He's not the biggest politician. He's not the biggest politician in Florida. He's just not that important. I don't know why y'all keep trying to. Y'all act like y'all were rocking out with Andrew Gillum for the past 20 years. He's not Clyburn from South Carolina. He's not Elijah Cummings. He's not. Hell, he ain't AOC
but before
status.
Elijah Cummings was Elijah Cummings, he had to build to that, man.
Right.
Everybody has to build to that. Everybody's not 20 years in.
Andrew Gillum was trying to build, and he took a misstep, and he ain't built yet. He
okay,
didn't build.
that's fine, but let's not throw him in the trash.
Sure,
this is throw him in the trash over there.
I'm not throwing him in the trash. I'm not throwing him. I'm saying this is a personal matter that he and his wife and his family got to figure out. He took a misstep. His personal human frailties are on display, unfortunately, in this case. But he's a human being. He made a mistake, just same way that Barack Obama is following Sarah J., which is something that we sit here and say, I can't believe our president, our black superhero president, is following a porn star. Yeah, you know what? He's just a man. He's just a man. He's not a superhero.
Oh, he's not a magic Negro?
He's not black.
The way
Jesus.
you were talking about Elijah Cummings and Mr. Clyburn, they're magic Negroes.
No, I said that they have been around for they have long reputations, right? You know what frat Andrew Gillum pledged?
That doesn't even matter.
Sure it matters. I'm just trying to...
And to my point, there's a difference between, coming out being gay. I mean, Pete Buttigieg is gay, right? I mean, he has a
Pete Buttigieg is gay. He's not gay. I know gay when I see.
But
puss.
That's different. That's just kind of like, what was my man's name? Oh my God, it came out with the prostitutes or had the affairs. Oh my gosh,
Vintner from Louisiana.
No, I think South Carolina.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. His name is Sanford.
No. He ran for president. Oh my gosh. In like 2000, let's say 2002, 2006 time frame. Oh my gosh. Came out with he had all those affairs. Oh my gosh. It's going to kill me. Anyways, that was different. But it's kind of like, we all knew that Bill Clinton got down. We all knew that Kennedy got down. But it didn't hit the same.
It did hit the same on Bill Clinton. I seem to remember they impeached Bill Clinton
Yeah, but it was a little different though.
They impeached the man.
I know.
Yeah, it was different.
It's a little different though,
Oh my
Bill.
God. Andrew Gillum is not elected to anything. He got caught in a hotel with a male prostitute who passed out on crystal meth. Andrew Gillum will probably mess around and get. The reason why it ain't hit the same is because y'all making more out of it than it is. Nobody. I bet you right now.
How do you figure when it's in several definitely publication? Well, it's major news in the state of Florida. Let's be very clear.
Okay, it's major news in the state of Florida.
Hold on, let me finish.
He was the mayor. He was the mayor of Tallahassee.
Let me finish. No, in the state of Florida. Okay?
I understand. He was the mayor of Tallahassee.
Right. So what I'm saying is that if we're going by the barometer, I saw it on also the national CBS News as a story.
It's a story
on television.
It's a story.
I saw it in the New York in the Post, which is a baby rag. I saw it in the LA Times, and several other publications across the country. So we can't say that no one's paying attention or that it's not a story.
It's a story.
And the person I'm talking about is John Edwards, by the way.
That was He was from North Carolina.
North Carolina.
All right. Now, it wasn't that he came out. He didn't have prostitutes. It was
he had extramarital affairs, and it was it hit different. It was kind of like, oh, not him. It's the same thing with Andrew Gillum. It's like, oh, come on, homie, not you.
Well, let's talk about how sleazy the John Edwards thing was. I mean, he knocked off his homeboy campaign manager wife, got her pregnant, and told him, hey, yo, low-key, why don't you raise this kid as your own? Let's back up. And think about that. Dave Chappelle did a skit talking about the Player Haters of the Year award. You know what they said about Buck Nasty? Buck Nasty got his home girl pregnant. And then he convinced you to raise the little motherfucker. You not only slept with your man's wife and got her knocked up, you not only cheated on your wife who was dying of cancer at the time and cheated on her, you were about to have a baby and said, I'm not even going to claim it. Maury Povich would love that show. And so he got ousted out of the Democratic Party. You ain't heard John Edwards' name come up again since.
I know. I'm just saying it just hurt when that happened. That's all. It's the same thing with Andrew Gillum for me.
He did some wild slimy business.
I like John Edwards. I wasn't going to vote for him, but I was like, dang, I like John Edwards. I like Andrew Gillum. I thought he's dope.
Right. 194,000 people. Let's even say 385,000 people live in the Tallahassee metropolitan area. About 194,000 people actually live in Tallahassee City proper, of which I would imagine that 30% or more of them are under the age of 18, therefore they can't vote. So we're talking about, what, 100,000 voters? I bet you the last time he got elected to that, it was probably only like 40,000 votes in the whole election, maybe 60,000 votes. Those are the people who care most about this because he was their mayor. I can't cast one vote for Andrew Gillum.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
It's a shame that Kwame went down.
Yeah, but look, he still got 4 million votes
in the state for the Senate. Yes.
Yeah. So
okay,
4 million votes is still pretty damn good.
Right.
I mean, he almost won. It almost went to the point to where they were challenging it. So let's not make him think, to Lamont's point, the man still got some credibility in Florida.
Who's the other senator from Florida?
Ron DeSantis now.
There's a second one. Who's the other senator?
I don't know.
Who are the two senators from Michigan?
Who's that? Debbie Dingle and not Debbie Dingle, Debbie Stabenow and Gary. I forgot his last name. So
let's just keep it in perspective. You don't know your own senators. We don't care about this stuff. And I'm not picking,
oh, my God.
I'm not picking on
you're the main one who always talks about local politics is important.
Sure.
That's the most important
thing.
He's
not even an elected official locally any longer. He's a nobody, essentially, at this point. We're trying to. He's a private citizen now. He's not an elected official. Period. Let that man have his privacy, figure out his life. Hopefully he and his wife can come to some agreement as to how they're going to move forward. And we just can just let them have their personal space. I don't have a problem with what he did. As far as like, it doesn't.
You don't have a problem with what he did.
He made a
Jesus
mistake.
Christ.
We need to end on that note.
No.
Yes, thank you, Maynard.
He has some personal missteps.
No,
That's
Maynard,
his issue.
thank you very much.
Those are his problems.
You don't have.
That's not
you
my
don't have a
problem.
So if
problem
that's
with
the
what he
case,
did.
then you should not get up and leave Lamont when he pulls out a crack pipe and when he starts smoking. That's his personal
No.
business.
The difference is this: Lamont G. Hayes. I'm responsible for him. He's my friend. He's my homie, and I need to make sure. And I know his people. I know his wife. If Lamont is out here wilding, I got to look at his wife and say,
"Black man, pull out a crack pipe, and you in the room with him. You just since you don't know him, it's cool. You don't have a problem."
I know I don't want to be around anyone with a crack pipe. Who wants to smoke crack. I don't want to do that. So I'm leaving. But if Lamont is doing this, if Spud is doing this, I look at y'all like my brothers. Y'all my family. It would hurt me. I'd be upset. In the immediate space, I'll be like, yo, I got to move out of this space. But then later, I'll be like, yo, you know what, my dude? I think we need to have a conversation about how we get you help. But today, you just pull out a crack pipe right now. I don't want to be around that. But I don't know Andrew Gillum, and I think he has a problem. And he needs to fix that. And I hope his friends and his family and the people around him can help him. I hope he finds what he needs in this world to live the life that he's supposed to live. But that's not my issue. He's not my friend. He's not my homie. I just heard Andrew Gillum's name for the first time the last election cycle. I didn't know who he was 6 years ago.
Well, friends, the moral of this story is that if you're walking down the street, or if you are on a train, or if anything happens to you and you're around Maynard and he does not know you, you are a rat. All right? There's no hopes for you. Unless you are Maynard's friend, you just don't don't even think about it. So you're not getting saved.
So
there's no life jacket being thrown out for you.
Let me say this, Spud, you know of a friend of yours.
Not a friend of yours?
A friend of
and not a friend of ours.
A friend of ours.
Or a friend of mine.
A friend of ours. But he's a friend of ours who you know very well, who's about to make a decision to get married. And you also know that this friend has some other personalities in his life. Are you going to step up and say, hey, yo, my dude, you need to fix that before you do this?
Only if he came to me, yeah, but I wouldn't offer that. But I still support him in that situation. I don't look at him even in the caliber of where he is.
If he was smoking crack, would you call him out on it?
Would I call him out on it? No, I'm not gonna call anybody out or anything.
So then,
if that was the case, I would call him out on, what he's doing right now. But I wouldn't do that. But you're, in my opinion. So when I heard the situation, the same way as but in the same way we're hearing about Andrew Gillum, the same way I was told, and the same way you guys were told by accident. You guys were like, "Oh man, not my man." What is? Dang! Don't mean that I'm gonna throw him in the trash, or I'm gonna be like,
I'm not throwing Andrew Gillum in the trash. I'm not throwing him in the trash.
This is what you're basically saying. You're saying, he don't mean anything, so we don't really need to even care about him when it comes to this, political process or, what's going on. Let him go and deal with that with his wife.
I've been saying this Lamont has wanted to make this about the blue team is experiencing. I'm saying he's not critical to the blue team. And I'm saying that his personal issues, I pray for him to whoever I choose to pray to, which y'all know I got an issue with Sky Daddy, and we'll talk about that another time. But I hope that he can get the solace in his life to help heal him. And maybe he may have a comeback like a Marion Barry or whatever the case may be. But I don't think that we should allow this. And we're talking about this more than anybody else is talking. We talked about this for about 30 minutes. This is more than I think you can. You turn to Meet the Press or any other TV show, they probably gave it 30 seconds.
If they
because they have a different agenda, man. And I think at the end of the day,
so it's not that important.
Well, once again, so Spud, he just, what's the word I'm looking for? He just gave me affirmation that the white man's ice is colder because Maynard is using Meet the Press as the barometer of what's important.
No,
you see that?
You've been telling me.
You just said.
You've been telling me that the Democrats.
So it's a nothing burger.
No, you've been telling me that the Democrats are going in some kind of trouble because of Andrew Gillum's shenanigans and and so on and so forth. It don't look good and blah blah blah. And
it don't look good for the blue team. He's part of the blue team, man.
You know what? There's somebody in the blue team every day who gets caught. There's somebody in the red team every day who gets caught sucking cactus underneath the bleachers.
You are so much of a political guru. You see this on a level that I love when Lamont says this. It's like you can't teach a person calculus when they don't know basic math. And you're at the calculus level of politics, right? The average individual is not at your level of politics. And so why I lean towards Lamont's point of it's not a help for the blue team. So when you got all these Donald Trump-based supporters, running rampant on everything about the blue team, it just doesn't help. It's just not a good time because the talking points of the red team and the base of Donald Trump and uneducated voters are so fragile right now and just all bets are off that it doesn't help. It just allows for somebody else to be able to say, this is how people on the blue team act. This is what they do. And yeah, all day long, people on the red team do that, probably 5 times more than the people on the blue team. But to your point about, we've been talking about this for 30 minutes, look how much it was in the news, right? It was in the news. Now, no, it's not going to be talked about on MSNBC, definitely not on CNN. I'm sure that Tucker Carlson had a field day with it, and I'm sure Sean Hannity had a field day with it. But MSNBC's not going to touch it. But at the same time, they're not going to have that same. They didn't have that same field day with what's the boy in Alabama?
Roy Moore.
Roy Moore. Right? They didn't position it the same way we did.
Of course they did. They talked.
No,
Rachel
Maddow did not.
Rachel Maddow talked about Roy Moore every day.
Fox News.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Fox
I didn't. No,
I not. You know what I'm saying?
And listen, you're right. You may be right.
But get to your point. MSNBC did, right?
Sure.
But I think that's Lamont's point. It's like it's just not. That was not a good look for the red team because the blue team, MSNBC, CNN, all these people did everything that they could to be able to discredit Roy Moore during that time.
Right.
Same thing they're going to do with Andrew Gillum. Fox team, the red team is going to take this and run with it.
Okay.
Now,
they're going to demonize Andrew Gillum
big.
They're going to demonize him to what end against Andrew Gillum? He's not running for office. He's not on any ballot right now. He's essentially a private citizen. And you know what I'm saying? Let's do this. Because I don't know the answer.
If he was a private citizen not on CNN, I would probably be like, yeah, you know what, you're right. But this man is
that's why I'm trying to figure out how is he a private citizen? And he
may be a public figure, but he's not a paid public citizen. He's not an elected official any longer. He may
I'm
be
sure that you would agree.
But let's say this. Today is
that people who are affiliated, right? The reason why that boy what is his name? Mark Lamont Hill was fired from CNN was because of his views on Israel. The point, he doesn't have to be an elected official right now for it to be just a bad look, just for him to be discredited as a Democratic member, public figure, commentator.
Today is March 15th. Between now and Election Day, let's find out how many major stories, not like, oh, he wound up appearing in court and they just came up with. I'm talking about major stories where they say we're going to run on Andrew Gillum's name between now and Election Day. Let's find out how much media coverage it gets. If it between the 15th of March and Election Day, let's aggregate the amount of stories that they run on him. as a feature. I ain't talking about a 2-minute little thing or a blurb in the local newspaper or even in the bigger newspaper that just says, oh, well, he was arraigned on these charges today. I'm talking about, let's find out. Are they going to do, like, with Hillary, it was Benghazi, 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 server. This other, her health, it's this, it's that, it's the other thing. And so they still talking about Hillary to this day, right? They still talk about Barack Obama to this day. Coronavirus, according to Donald Trump, is because of Barack Obama didn't do something.
Can I ask one question? And I'm done, I swear, after this. Let me ask you this question, man. You, myself, and Lamont. I know that wasn't grammatically correct. What is it? Me, Lamont, and you. But whatever which one it is, right?
You, Lamont, and I.
Okay, you, Lamont, and I. Right? Thank you. I swear I hate to do this. And my sister, I love you so much. And you are a bomb in my eyes. So please do not take this the wrong way when I say this. But I just have to use you as an example. And because you hot too, this is just another way of me, But we think you hot. But because this is a show that we talk about you a lot.
Who?
We talk about Angela Rye a lot, right? Offline. Because we all think that Angela Rye, except for Lamont, is pretty hot.
I was about to say, can we get
But
this is the dude that prefers Gail over Angela Rye. Okay.
So, but when we see Angela Rye out in some different outfits, don't we all be like,
Sure.
Should a CNN commentator be out here?
She's on another level, though. Angela Rye's on another level.
Hold on. I'm done. I'm wrapping up. Because you see my voice is going, and I know everybody's listening like, yo, but go take some tea or something. But I'm just saying, so we already be like, dang, Angela Rye, we don't want you to be out here in that type of outfit, in the thong, you little thotting out here. Now, if it came out in the news that Angela Rye was stripping, or if she got caught with two dudes, running the train. I'm so sorry to use this example.
Goodness gracious.
I'm so sorry to use that example. But I'm just saying, please, Angela Rye, there's no disrespect at all.
Let me just go ahead and delete her from my contacts now, because she ain't going to ever want to talk to me again. Okay.
Right. She's never coming on this show.
Never.
But if that happened, if that came out in the news that Angela Rye was in a room with two dudes and cocaine, smoking weed, and drunk, immediately we would be like, oh, come on, Angela.
Yeah, I
agree.
You
messing this up for everybody.
No, well, I would say this.
You.
This is what I would say. Part of the reason why is because Angela Rye has put herself in a position with as vocal as she's been, as visible as she's been, and as vehemently she has argued her point, where she's at another level. Andrew Gillum's not at that. Andrew Gillum is on a I'm going to contribute to your show level. Angela Rye is on the I'm going to take over your show level. In fact, Angela Rye should probably just have a show, right? And so she's put herself out to some extent as kind of a pious or better than the next person kind of example, right? So here's the difference, right? If Donald Trump had never said anything on Barack Obama's name, he never said Barack sucks or Barack this or Barack that, we would look at a lot of how he's moving and be like, I disagree, but okay, whatever. But in the moments that he's been like, Barack gave me a mess, I'm a better president than Barack Obama. Barack Obama ain't this, he's that, he's low IQ. Then you start saying, oh, so that's how you do that, you moving in that direction? We understand that everything you do now is under a microscope. If you make a mistake compared to Barack, that's because you made the comparison. Angela Rye has not necessarily made a huge comparison of herself to others, but she has made herself a very much more important and more vocal person or more visible person than the average person in the Democratic Party on the media side. Andrew Gillum is more of a, yeah, you asked me for my opinion today, I'm going to give you my opinion today, blah, 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 blah. But Andrew Gillum ain't out here, he ain't out here leading no movements. He's a nice guy. I'm sorry that this happened to him.
Okay. All right. Are we out? I am so sorry that I only wanted to ask one question. I did not mean for this to be a whole hour.
This tease. What? This was a tease. 55 minutes later, we're out of this thing. So, considering that this is a show.
I'm sorry, Lamont, did you want to say anything? Because you were a little quiet on this one. I don't want you to, feel like we're not giving you your flowers.
Of course. I mean, but that's how this works. You know what I mean?
Here he go, being agreed.
I do remember the bathing suit, Angela Rye. I thought that was kind of hot, but I do think that you're right. It's like, that doesn't fit with her brand and what it is she's trying to do. And I think what I said, a lot offline, this is another example why Maynard needs to be on a lot of those bullshit talk shows, because you see how you just did the whole double standard between, Angela Rye is out here in these streets and she's banging for us, and Andrew Gillum, he's a nothing burger, which in my opinion, they're pretty much the same, except, Angela has a little bit more time on the clock because she's not an elected official. She's not anything else other than out here just talking real slick on the internet.
Angela Rye has 4 times the number of Twitter followers. 4 times. So here's
the deal. So what you're telling me is that the barometer of success is Twitter followers.
I'm saying when you want to boil it down to
that's not boiling it down. Twitter's not real.
Okay.
So
well, I mean,
so that's not Twitter followers is not real.
So then how do you equate them?
So more Twitter followers than all of them.
My question would be this: how do you equate them as being the same? All I can say is he got 300,000, she got 1.3 million.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm sure she has more time. To his point, I'm sure she has more than Stacey Abrams. Is she more important than Stacey Abrams?
I don't know. She may have more than Stacey. I don't know.
I'm sure she does.
Yeah,
but I'm saying, is that the barometer of what's important is Twitter followers?
I don't. That's Stacey's Instagram followers. I don't know how many Twitter followers she has. I don't know.
Again, so that's the barometer.
Listen, how else do you measure? I mean, we don't have any metrics that we can say.
This nigga said, how else do you measure?
I mean, you tell me, how are you going to measure these two? How do you measure these two in social impact? Tell me what
I'm sure it's not Twitter followers, homie.
Then give me.
I'm hoping that's not the case.
I am saying fine with that. I'm cool. Twitter's not the answer, sir. You tell me what the answer is.
But Maynard, they are on the same network. They do the same job.
Angela Rye is
not only that.
Angela Rye is significantly larger, and we all know that. We know that Angela Rye is a significantly larger figure in media, political media, than Andrew Gillum is. We know
this is the most amazing conversation we've ever had.
And you know what's funny is that Andrew Gillum and Stacey Abrams, they have the same amount of Twitter followers.
Roughly, yeah.
Since Maynard wants to use Twitter followers, and in his bio, the first thing it says is father of 3, period, husband to RJAI, I'm assuming that's his wife, J or Jai, whatever it is, period. And then he says, proud Floridian.
Yo, I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm past time.
Okay, we got to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. As Lamont says, we have to be 59 minutes and 59 seconds. So we truly apologize for taking up an extra time. But we needed to get this out. So thank you so very much for listening to this episode. We will be back again next week with more shenanigans about the Democratic Party. 3 Black Guys with the Mind.